Welcome back. And in your business news, Emirates Airline President Tim Clark is in talks with US manufacturer Boeing to develop aircraft that will allow it to fly ultra-long-haul flights of up to 20 hours. As reported in a local daily, the talks are part of the carrier's aim to double its global route network to nearly 270 destinations. The state-owned carrier currently flies to 134 destinations in 77 countries. And Clark told the New Zealand Herald newspaper in an interview that he would like to double that figure, but did not give any specific timeline for achieving this. In a bid to achieve his goal of nearly 270 locations, the report said that Clark was in talks with US manufacturer Boeing on a new model of the 777, the 777X, which would allow it to fly ultra-long 20-hour flights. Clark said that Sydney to Rome was on the horizon if the US manufacturer could develop an aircraft that was comfortable enough for passengers to sustain a single journey. Earlier this year, the carrier signed a partnership with Australian carrier Qantas, but Clark has not ruled out Emirates flying across the Pacific or offering direct services from Asia to North America. And Etihad Airways kicked off a major recruitment drive in Brazil, offering hundreds of candidates in Sao Paulo the opportunity of landing jobs based in Abu Dhabi. Positions on offer include on its cabin crew team, as in-flight chefs, and as food and beverage managers. According to local reports, James Hogan, the airline's president and chief executive, was quoted as saying that the addition of Sao Paulo means that we seek greater numbers of Brazilians to join the Etihad family. The airline introduced at the beginning of the month its first ever route to South America with the launch of a 3 times a week direct service between Abu Dhabi and Sao Paulo. The new service now means that Etihad flies to 6 continents and has extended its network to all 4 BRIC high-growth nations. And continuing with aviation-related news, officials have said that the European Union will impose a 4.7% duty on jet fuel imports from the Middle East starting next year, in a move that could significantly increase costs for the EU's embattled airlines. Last month, EU officials said that jet fuel imports could dodge the new tariff thanks to a new waiver known as Airworthiness Certificates or ESA Form 1 certificates. After reviewing the system, however, the officials concluded that jet fuel cannot benefit from the waiver, which applies mostly to airline parts. The new duty comes after the European Union removed the Gulf states from its generalized scheme of preferences, which offers preferential trade status to developing economies because they are now classified as upper middle income economies by the World Bank. EU officials, meanwhile, urged GCC countries to resume bilateral free trade talks halted years ago that could lead to removing the tariff. The tariff could have a significant impact on Europe's jet fuel prices and on Middle East refineries, which could lose a major market. European demand for jet fuel amounted to 1.2 million barrels per day in 2012, of which 1/3 was imported from the Middle East, according to the International Energy Agency and traders. The changes will affect imports from countries including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, and the UAE. Big-ticket deals in the commercial space took place in Dubai during the first quarter of 2013 as prices rose for the first time after a 4-year period. According to information provided by Radin.com, in the first quarter, Business Bay registered the biggest office transaction and Jumeirah Lake Towers registered 5 of the top 10 biggest deals. The largest transaction registered with Dubai Land Department was worth 10.2 million dirhams in Vision Tower in Business Bay. The second largest was in Emaar Square 4 in downtown Dubai, worth 9.8 million dirhams, followed by Boulevard Plaza Towers 1 in downtown Dubai for 7.38 million dirhams. A commercial transaction registered for 7.34 million dirhams in Sabah Towers 1 in JLT was ranked 4th, followed by a 7.13 million dirhams transaction in W Podium Dubai Marina in the 5th place, as data revealed. Almos Tower in JLT was the only tower to register 3 of the top 10 transactions. The 3 individual transactions were worth 6.3 million, 5.2 million, and 4.87 million dirhams respectively. And finally, in your business news, French retail chain Geant has launched what it says is the UAE's first online hypermarket, offering consumers the opportunity to purchase both grocery items and consumer electronics via computer and mobile devices. Geant Online becomes the latest addition to the company's portfolio of brands in the UAE, which includes Geant hypermarkets and Geant Easy supermarkets and convenience stores. The online move is part of a growth strategy by Fucom, the master franchisee for Geant in the region, which aims to expand the brand across the GCC region over the next 5 years. According to recent reports, the Middle East and North Africa region is one of the fastest growing markets in the world for e-commerce, with sales in 2012 totaling $15 billion, an increase of 45%. Geant has been operating in the region since 2001, when it opened its first hypermarket in Bahrain, before launching hypermarkets in Dubai in 2005 and Kuwait in 2009.